Wright. First shot from Ian Wright, stung the fingers of Nigel Martyn, but it was just where the keeper would have wanted it. Well, it will be an afternoon of mixed emotions for Ian Wright if he records that 100th goal. Davis, that might fall nicely for Smith. Here's Wright, is this the 100? It's the side netting, and Ian Wright and the Arsenal faithful have to wait a little bit longer. They know it's inevitable and it will arrive eventually, but they thought it had then. Wright stole on, he got round Nigel Martyn, lifted it beyond the angle of post and bar. Not forward there, there's a good chase on here. Linnigan in pursuit of Armstrong, he won't catch him. Into the penalty area, off the post, Solarco, Palace have scored. And it was another one of those quick breaks from the halfway line. They were maybe a little fortunate in the original build-up, but it never looked as though Linnigan would catch Chris Armstrong. And as they got closer to the penalty area, the distance was growing. He'd beaten Seaman, didn't beat the woodwork, but who's there? Solarco, 1-0. Shaw, and Wright has taken it, but he was dragged down by Patterson. That'll be a free kick. Darren Patterson, the Northern Ireland international, may well be the first player caution. Wright had beaten him. He stretched out the arm to pull back the Arsenal player. Got a good handful of his shirt. And Palace have everybody back in their penalty area. Schwartz takes responsibility, and having scored his first Arsenal goal against Nicosia in midweek, thumping that one 4 feet too high. Ooh, Linnigan went in really strongly. Armstrong, Southgate, supported by Newman, made it difficult for Undar. That's Gordon. Undar nicely through, Gordon. He just wanted too many touches, but Palace are still keeping the pressure on. Southgate. I'm not sure whether David Seaman saw that late. It was a fine save from a snapshot by the Palace captain. Coleman, Southgate, Patterson. Fortunate that his captain was there. One or two tackles flying in, and here's Armstrong breaking down the right. He's got Solarco in the middle. Solarco! It was pin precision, and Palace lead 2-0. And Chris Armstrong may not be getting on the score sheet himself this season, but he's an unselfish provider. Look how precise that was to Solarco. Tony Adams. Smith gets the decision. Free kick. Quickly taken. Winterburn. Stefan Schwartz. Campbell didn't quite get his forehead to it, but he has in fact scored 5 goals in his last 5 league matches against Crystal Palace. Just needed a change of direction. Adams just knocked it up. Campbell on it, then Selly. Adams! Well done, Darren Patterson. Adams looked as though he was going to get goal number 4 of this season. Wright just helping it on with the forehead to Merson. Into the penalty area. Left-footed. Patterson got in the way. Corner. Linnigan backed header. Adams grew, but he didn't quite get tall enough. Dixon knew where Campbell was. He's turned. And picked up a bit of pace as well, Campbell. Wright lays it out. Dixon. Selly. Came off the defender. Arsenal force another corner. It's a good spell for Arsenal. They'll be disappointed if they don't get something from this spell of pressure at the start of the second half. Shot was saved on the line by Martin after initial shot by, I think it was Alan Smith. Merson who had the shot right through a crowded penalty area, and it was a fine stop by Nigel Martin. Here's Smith. Schwartz. Selly. Schwartz just knocking it in. Right. Great strike. Super shot. Even better save. Martin with the fists clenched, tight together in front of his face, and there was so much pace on the shot that Martin's save saw the ball cannon out for a throw-in. He has to reach across. He's done it now. Ian Wright has claimed the ball. Arsenal have got the goal, and Ian Wright has recorded his 100th goal since he joined Arsenal. Ian Wright is acclaimed all around Highbury. It's a milestone in a marvellous career, and it's taken him just 142 games to score 100 goals. Ian Wright tried to pick out Smith. Campbell will get onto that. Campbell goes outside Gordon. Campbell! Smith stretched and it was just ahead of his toe. Campbell saying that he'd done his bit. Schwartz. Dixon knocks it up. It's a real scramble. The shot was deflected. Merson who hit it, and the deflection would have been cruel on Nigel Martin if he'd have evaded him. Good strike by Merson. Winterburn. Adams is staying forward now permanently. There he is, over the top. Campbell! Wonderful save by Martin. Adams is forward constantly now to cause confusion. Campbell profited, but what a fantastic save. The job isn't quite done yet. Campbell. That's awkward. Wright was there. So too was Martin with another save. Alan Smith hardly able to contain his anxiety.
So just when many of the supporters were losing heart, we started on a roll of 5 successive victories. And the first one, of course, was against Everton. They came here with Mike Walker really struggling, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a very high-pressure game, actually, because lots of people were looking at ourselves and Everton as being relegation candidates. I think we drew a lot of confidence from our performance against Newcastle just before that game. But you could tell from the chances that went begging for both sides that neither team were playing with a lot of confidence. We hadn't won at home until that day, and Everton hadn't won. I think they'd only scored 1 goal away from home all season. So that was a crucial victory for us.
Palace get us underway then, from left to right. Everton desperate for the points, and beginning with a bright run down that right-hand side of the park, rooted to the foot of that Premiership table. Early cross coming in there, Shaw gets ahead to it and it's hooked away by Southgate. Again, Palace not quite dominant to force the ball into Everton territory. It's a bit better, Armstrong on the chase, but that will be defended comfortably. And Everton look to hit Stewart on that right-hand side again. Good challenge in there, Solarco just won't get there. Everton thumping this one forward. And that will be an easy claim for Nigel Martyn. It's a good jump. Southgate winning it out to the left, headed into the danger zone. Armstrong's there and it's desperate defending. Palace with their first real effort at goal. Results in a corner, good running by Armstrong. Solarco it was who headed right into the path of him. And it was a real worry there for a moment. It's good play. And Everton have started promisingly in this. Duncan Ferguson's in there, left foot shot. Great save by Martyn. Great save. Ferguson, the on-loan striker from Rangers. Really good control and a left foot strike, but that's a brilliant stop. Oh, beautifully taken by Humphrey. Looks ahead of him, he slid that one in low. Solarco's in there. Left foot ball into the danger zone. Armstrong, a looping header, he might get a second bite. Away by Everton. Still going though, Palace. There's the long-range try. Southall was beaten by the curve of the ball and had to keep it out with his feet. It was really well played. And when the early strike came in, Southgate hit it. Southall was almost beaten. Burrows, the man who used to play for Liverpool and West Ham, of course, now with Everton. He's tackled well by Bowery. Controlled nicely by Andy Priest. Southgate helping it out wide to Humphrey. Humphrey back into the middle of the park. Free kick given. No doubt about that. Just a clip from behind. And Palace get their just reward. Ricky Newman, the man just receiving this, his first touch there was, well, he was never given any space. So Dean Gordon looks like he's over this one. He might even fancy peeling off for the shot here. Solarco to take it though, on his favoured left foot. It's a curling ball, it's a fine header, but it won't count. Flags up on this near side, they haven't realised yet, but in fact now they have. Well, Southall beaten all ends up there, and Andy Priest looks on because that header will not count. Lovely free kick, curled over beautifully well, and the header was brilliant, but it just won't count. Still goalless then as Burrows whips one in from the left. Newman heading away from the danger zone. Still Everton press though. Stewart moves infield, he's linked that well with Amakachi. That's driven in low, Amakachi's there surely, great save by Martyn, his second of the match. Well, Palace scramble it clear, Priest has given it straight back to Everton, who are in a good spell here. And Daniel Amakachi must surely feel he should have scored there. They've got another chance here. Ferguson's there again. He's tackled well by Humphrey. An Everton corner, but Nigel Martyn's been forced to make two great saves in this match. And none better than this. It's point-blank range from Amakachi. Brave stop. Bowery heading it into the path of Southgate. Armstrong holds it up nicely. Bowery again sends away Armstrong. They'll get a throw in. Here's Bowery then, on his right foot. Far post ball. Oh, and that's into the side netting. Armstrong's second header that's troubled Southall. Real curling ball in. Chris Armstrong. Amakachi then. Left-hand side, the Nigerian international. Nice little touch to Ferguson. Ferguson puts in a good-looking cross. It's well defended. Still a chance for Everton, though. A deflected shot. Martin's under it. And makes a fine claim. Rolling it out for Dean Gordon. Gordon has given that one away. And Andy Priest chasing shadows for the time being, as Southall hits it back into play. Everton throw in, Salako won't keep it in. Good tackle by Newman. Southgate, the easy ball to the right. Humphrey carries it forward. He's got support to his right in the form of Armstrong, who delivers a first-time cross. Priest is in there, and that's a goal. Crystal Palace are ahead. Superbly taken goal by Andy Priest. Magic first-time cross by Armstrong. And there is the strike force of Crystal Palace. Armstrong made no mistake at all. He put in a very early ball, and there was Priest, and he'd beaten Southall completely. All ends up. Great header. Palace 1, Everton 0. And suddenly Everton, who've had a lot of pressure in this game, are up against it. Gordon and Salako linking up nicely. Oh, that's good play by Palace. Salako on his right foot, just past Southall's post. Really fast break down the left. Lovely touch in field from the goal scorer Priest. Salako went for glory and just missed. Well, Everton still very much in this match. Towards the edge of the penalty area. Stewart rides one challenge, tries the left foot curler, and he's not too far off. Mike Walker looks on, a man under pressure. Oh, that's well played by Priest. Armstrong's the chaser this time. They've got men in the middle, and it just won't work out. Salako, even with his pace, couldn't find his left foot on the ball. Beat them all, even John Salako. Would have been certainly 2-0. Well, that's good play by Stewart. And it's fine defending. And Salako's in possession again. Well, Everton not giving up by any means. There's Ferguson, dominant header. Good stop by Martin. Fine early ball in, curling nicely. Duncan Ferguson's had 1 or 2 chances in this match. Armstrong. He's got Burrows ahead of him. Looks for the early ball again. Priest, it just beats him. It might drop for Newman. Left-footed drive. Good stop by Neville Southall. Palace get a corner. Good first touch by Newman, a blistering drive, going away from the keeper, he did well. Salako then, deep corner, it's almost an own goal by Gary Ablett. And Southall throws caution to the wind. I mean, this is... Well, I think he was trying to head it the opposite way. It was very nearly straight in. Southall fisting it away. Salako's onto this one. Can he beat his man? Oh, has he gone for the chip? Far post ball. Southall just gets there. And there is the final whistle. A real hard-fought win by Crystal Palace, but they dug deep into their reserves, and that is the strike force made in heaven. Andy Priest with a fine header to snatch it. Everton, well, a touch unlucky, but when you're at the bottom, things really don't go your way. Great header by Priest. The points go to Palace, and it finishes Crystal Palace 1, Everton 0.
Well, that Everton victory at home, Nigel, must have been a great relief to you to at last win a game at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, it was very important. We needed a clean sheet as well, which we managed to get, and I think Andy Priest, headed in a good goal for us, and it was a very valuable 3 points.
That goal at home eased a lot of pressure off his back. Any player, no matter what their fee is, when they come to a new club, particularly a striker, is under pressure to perform. And I'm sure that goal gave him the confidence to go on the little run he did after that.
So away go Crystal Palace in the red and blue. Wimbledon tonight in white with black shorts. Coleman. Two sides really at the mucky end of the Premiership. Wimbledon 4 off the bottom, Palace 6 off the bottom, thanks to the 3 points they got against Everton last Saturday. Coleman. Back again to Martin. Armstrong did really well. Harry chasing on now. And a great chance was lost there, and in the end, Palace had an amazing chance there, and it was a miss by Salako of all people, although the flag, I think, was up. But it was a miss hit there by Salako, and by now the flag was up, the whistle had gone, and a free kick for offside. Oh, a nice touch there by Armstrong. And Gordon rifling a drive wide of the Wimbledon goal. Wants to get up, and he scored his share of valuable goals as Dean Gordon. That was a lovely touch from Armstrong. Hits it well, but just wide. Fitzgerald gets it clear. Newman. Now Vinnie Jones. Gary Elkins for Wimbledon. Blissett. Harry. Oh, and it's ricocheted to Clark. A great chance here, and a super save by Nigel Martin. There was a cruel ricochet there, and it nearly caught Palace out. There it is, and suddenly Andy Clark is clear. Superb piece of keeping by Nigel Martin. He's having a really good time at the moment. There's been some good attacking intention, and here's Armstrong getting in, and Sigur's doing well to get down there. Good throw out. Here's Warren Barton. And here goes the half-time whistle. A local derby with a vengeance. These two sides that share this ground in the Coca-Cola Cup, and nothing separating the two at the moment. A lot of good chances, though, for both sides. But it's Wimbledon 0, Crystal Palace 0 at half-time. Daley Thompson taking his seat. No mean soccer player himself, of course, Daley. In goes Bissett, great save. A little flick on at the near post, and Gary Blissett with a header from no more than 2 or 3 yards, and it was a really good reaction save from Nigel Martyn. Armstrong will chase, and there's nobody quicker when he's in full flight. Palace have got 4 up on the far side. Oh, and it might come for Priest. Deflected. Just an overhead kick by Salako. Just goes wide. That was a terrific break by Palace. Started in the first place by Armstrong, and there's his long cross. Priest didn't really quite get the hang of it. And it's charged away. There's the overhead kick. It's a goal kick. See what they can find on this side. Humphrey. There's Barry. He's found Priest. He's found Humphrey again. Cross coming in towards Chris Armstrong. Chris Armstrong! Saved by Seggers. Salako playing it in again. Priest with a shot. Charged away again. Southgate with another shot. And it's not away yet. Salako, the flag is up. And Palace so close twice there to a goal. Some great goalkeeping by Hans Seggers. Just when Wimbledon needed it. When Humphrey's cross came in. Armstrong shot, beaten away. Salako teased it in again. They weren't finished yet. Another shot coming in. Again stopped by Seggers. And then finally an offside against Chris Armstrong. Vinnie Jones's header goes conveniently for Bobby Barry. Attacks well down this right-hand side. Southgate's done well for them as well. It's Chris Armstrong who's put Palace ahead. A great move. And a super finish. Barry inevitably would have a part in it somewhere. Vinnie Jones's pass that went astray, that's what started it. Barry picked it up superbly. Southgate by now was making a terrific run inside the fullback. There's the ball for Southgate. And as he crosses it in, there's Chris Armstrong. Armstrong, or rather Clark, chasing this. Holding offshore, and a good save required by Nigel Martyn. Andy Clark turning Shaw well and drives in a really good one at the body of Martyn, well behind it though. Newman. Armstrong. Will he have another run at 4? Plays it inside now for Salako. Goal kick. Just took it a step too far after Armstrong had played him in, and it just made the angle just too difficult for him. Joe Kinnear, remember, off to Norway tomorrow to look for a replacement. Norwegian international midfielder Leonardsen is the man in his sights. Knocked in there and knocked behind for the corner, but suddenly Palace were vulnerable. And Seggers is coming forward for this one. The goalkeeper's right out of his goal. He's coming up for the corner in a real last-ditch attempt now for Wimbledon to save it. They're all going up, and it's all gone behind, and Seggers has got to go back. Humphrey now. Referee looking at the watch. That's the finish. And it's Palace who go into the next round of the Coca-Cola Cup. Thanks to Chris Armstrong. Gets a yellow card in the last minute. But the other statistic that was of vital importance to Palace was his goal in the second half. After some great work by Bowery and Southgate. A cup tie that was full of terrific flowing movement. Good chances at both sides. But just one solitary goal. Chris Armstrong puts Palace into the next round. 1-0.
What's it like playing Wimbledon away?
Well, I mean, to say it's probably a bit of an advantage. You know, we know the stadium very well. We prepared for it as an away game. You know, we met at the Selsdon Park Hotel and arrived on a coach, and you know, we treated it as an away game. But once you're on the pitch, you know, it is your home pitch, and I think, you know, it might be a slight advantage for us.
Filbert Street the setting then, as referee Philip Dunn leads out the teams. Leicester the opposition, and Palace looking to continue their impressive away form. Gareth Southgate, the skipper, shakes hands with the officials. It's an improved ground, this is, Filbert Street, and Leicester will get us underway from right to left. Richard Shaw will let that go for a throw to Palace. Right-hand side, Priest might get in there. Bowery chases. Leicester playing it nicely across the back four. Oh, this one through the middle. It's a nice ball. It's dangerous for Martin. He's come right out to the edge of his area. In comes the cross. Oh, it's total danger, but it's wide. There's a real chance for Leicester City. They've really been struggling. There's nothing Martin could do other than close it down. He did that very well. And when the cross came in, you really would have backed a goal there. That's a free kick given against Crystal Palace. Well, 6 to 1 and half dozen of the other, didn't it? But Shaw concedes it. It's driven around the wall, great stop. And it's stuck. That's a great claim by Nigel Martin. That's why it's cost £1 million. Oh, that's fine. Passing by Palace to the far post. Salako will keep it in. John Salako picks up nicely with Gordon. It's not the best of crosses, and Leicester managed to forage it clear. Coleman picks it up though. Back into Leicester territory. Southgate's done well there. Support then from Salako onto his right foot. Near post ball. Priest just trying to turn it in. Good claim by the keeper in the end. Just got his left foot to the ball, but not delicately enough. Coleman, that's dominant. Priest, that's tigerish. And Salako, silky as he passes the halfway mark. French cars behind him, but he's beaten him. Salako might go around them all here. Right foot shot, good effort. Great save by the keeper. Really did well, Salako. Turned his man inside out, had a sniff at goal. And he wasn't too far off. Oh, that's a long ball by Gordon. He's found Armstrong. Armstrong into the middle. There's no support. And that really came out of nothing. Dean Gordon just thumping it through the middle. Armstrong was on there, and he must have felt that there was someone in there because he jabbed it across. It was a great opportunity. Franz Carr picks this one up for Leicester. Newman now in the middle of the field for Palace. Good turn. Great ball wide. He's picked out Priest. Priest turns well. And that's Humphrey just dwelling in possession. They get a throw in. Newman then, a near post ball on the chest of Priest. He's held that one up nicely. Back for Newman again. Through the middle, Armstrong on the chest, and there's the shot, and there's great goal. Terrific strike. Andy Priest buries it. And they've every right to go berserk. Magical goal by Priest. And he was really at the hub of this move, knocking it back there for Newman. He found the chest of Armstrong. It's beautifully into the path of Priest, and that finish is venomous. There's Priest, begins the move off. Finds Newman. Just a little chip. Priest had peeled off. Armstrong found him. Oh, and it's a great finish. Well, the referee calling a halt to the celebrations. Palace won't mind. They lead 1-0. Priest, the scorer. Just in from the touchline. He finds Salako. Salako's got round the back. He's put over a great ball. Armstrong's in there. And it's gone behind just as Salako was ready to bounce. Super skill by Salako. Armstrong's header was looping. Southgate was just beaten in the challenge. Oh, it's not a bad turn in field. There's a good chance here for Leicester. And Palace scramble it away. Bowery feeds down the right to find Priest. Priest still got the measure of his marker, he has got them. Oh, it's not a bad cross, and that will get a corner for Palace. Really good play there by Andy Priest. I think Dean Gordon there credited for getting a touch at that one. The other end, well, Priest had beaten his man all ends up. Cross just a little deep, but it gets Palace a corner. Well, Palace have to be careful here. Side netting. Well, it was a move. It was more scrambled than anything else. And when it was pumped over the top, just a little slip there and into the side netting. Not a bad spell this for the home team. That's well played to get it clear. Salako again's motoring over halfway. Great throw as well. Southgate holds it up nicely for Salako. Inside his man this time. And he's still in possession. Well, get another throw, will he? Yes. Dean Gordon, short tap to Salako, receives it back. Good dummy, he's beaten Franz Carr. Corner. Salako then with this corner. To the far stick, there's a first-time header by Armstrong, he's just past the upright. Got free of his markers. He was very close to making it 2. Carr for Leicester again. Left foot cross in, there's a good header, straight at Martin. Wasn't a bad ball, it had pace, it was a good try, but Martin, he would have caught that in his sleep. Again, Palace pegged back in their own penalty area. There's a flying try, but Martin gets down again. Worth the effort. Good goalkeeping though. Bowery will intercept that. Oh, it's a good through ball. Armstrong's got the pace, he's gone wide to the right. The shot's palmed down by the keeper. Southgate wins it back again. He keeps it in play. Gets himself a throw. Well, Chris Armstrong knew exactly what he was doing here. Carrying it to the right and firing it across the keeper. It's a good save. It's come off the foot of Southgate, headed away by Bowery. Into the middle again. And Martin makes a great stop. Fine save. Really the closest Leicester have come. Looping header, just needing to tip it over that one. Carr again in space for Leicester. Oh, and there's the first time try, and again Martin is unbeatable. Really good form, Nigel Martin, this afternoon. Bowery finds Brees. Back to the advancing midfield man. Good stop by the keeper. Really is end-to-end at this stage. Bowery riding the challenge, looking for the first-time shot. It's a fine block. Palace in the last minute desperately needing to defend against Franz Carr. They do exactly that. Here comes the shot though. Again Nigel Martin gets down well. Good tackle by Humphrey, but it only dropped into the path of that drive. And Leicester throwing everything forward now. There's a real chance here. Martin firm in goal, battered by Richard Shaw. Huge kick forward by Martin, and there's the whistle. So the only goal of the game, a beaut by Andy Priest, gives Palace victory. 1 or 2 scares, but they get the win in the end. Leicester 0, Palace 1.
It's great to have a good back four, but behind a good back four you need a good keeper, and Nigel Martin certainly up to that stage had made some fine saves, hadn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean, in recent games he's been absolutely superb. You know, I'm not surprised that Terry Venables is looking at him again, because if he keeps playing the way he is, there's only one place he'll be in, at is back in the England squad.
And then we visited Leicester, and Filbert Street's not an easy place to go to. The weather once again at Filbert Street wasn't all that good when we got there, was it?
No, the pitch was very damp, and like you say, Leicester at home are a hard proposition. You know, they've got a very good home record, and we managed to beat them as well.
A tight game for you lads in the back four, Chris, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We were pinned in on and off for long spells in the game, but we did very well. We battled very hard, and at the end of the day, Andrew Priest scored a great goal, and we got a good win.
That was, in many people's eyes, Nigel, probably one of your finest games there so far this season.
Yeah, I had a little spell of a couple of games where I've done quite well, and I was fortunate enough to make a few saves that day as well.
And of course, Leicester were later to lose their manager, but all in all, that was a good victory, and it certainly was a good 3 points, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, say teams like Arsenal have gone there and lost, and it shows the merit of our win there.
Nigel Martin then, dribbling this one just outside his area. Pumps it long. Good flick by Priest. Armstrong's in here. Oh, early shot by Armstrong, and Agrizovic gets him behind it. And a sniff at goal and went for glory. Good stop. Priest holding it up well, he's impeded. Newman. Good ball to Salako. Far post cross. Priest with a header. Agrizovic again, straight at him. Salako, though, picking out Andy Priest. Not the firmest of connections. That was a real dangerous corner by John Salako. Southgate finds Newman. Oh, it's another good ball. Wide to the left for John Salako. Near poster this time, and there's the effort, and there's the goal. Andy Priest on target again. Turning it in with his left foot. Great finish. Palace 1-0 up. Just took it on the bounce there, Andy Priest. Agrizovic got a hand to it, but it was always flying in. Super finish. And that will do nicely. Armstrong, a good turn, he's got great pace, he's beaten his man. Far post cross, Salako's in there, what a goal! Terrific diving header. And Palace streak into a 2-0 lead. It's a fine far post ball, but it takes some scoring there. Armstrong just slipping as he delivered the cross. Salako, that's a beauty. Coventry shell-shocked. There's Dion Dublin. Oh, he's got one back for Coventry. And this really is turning into a humdinger. The early ball, it didn't seem dangerous, but Dublin scores. All of a sudden, Coventry right back in it. Oh, Dublin's just got a flick on that one. Again, they've got men in the penalty area. Deep one in. Peter and Love gets up with a header. Just past the post. And Love is good in the air for a small man. Dean Gordon. Good pace, good control, fine ball into the path of Southgate. Southgate driving one. And Agrizovic, well, he was beaten by the shot. It's just past the upright. Southgate's on the end of that one. Priest turns it wide to the left, and John Salako. Salako, Priest is in there, that'll do. 3-1. And Andy Priest is in superb goal-scoring form. Salako again picking him out, but the header is excellent. A fine ball in, but a great header. You can't give Priest that space in the box. Peter and Love, who drives this one in the side netting. Coventry for a moment looking a tad dangerous. And Love got on the end of this one. but his drive never troubled Martin. Good cushioning header by Briggs to Solarco. Oh, Priest could be in here again. Armstrong hits one. Good parry. Chris Armstrong, snatch shot. It's a fine stop. Dean Gordon got ahead of that one, but Love's charging in. Charged down very well. And Armstrong could be on the end of this. Armstrong, his first touch is past his marker. He's gone really wide, and in the end he couldn't drag it back. Could easily have been the fourth goal there. Shoulder to shoulder with Pickering. And he just couldn't hook his foot round the ball. Dion Dublin from long range. Worth a dip. Solarco with this important corner. To the penalty spot and just over. Chris Coleman won it dominantly. Couldn't turn it into a goal. It's desperately close. Humphrey. Armstrong. Oh, he's kept it in very well indeed. In support of him is John Solarco again, he's everywhere. Solarco, he's got two men snapping at him. Oh, he still managed to get that into the area. Newman hits it from long, long range. Astonishing strike. Number 4. And the best of the lot. That was utterly unstoppable. Right in his stride. And that's a cannonball. Won the victory to Crystal Palace. Andy Priest with 2, Solarco with 1, but Newman with a real howitzer. Coventry 1, Palace 4.
Obviously, we knew it was going to be a hard game. Nobody expected us to beat them 4-1, But we went into the game confident after beating Leicester, and at the end we could have been 5 or 6. Really, we played very well.
I think to get a scoreline of 4-1 away from home against any team in this Premiership is a commendable result. And a side like Coventry, who are normally quite dour and difficult to break down, to go there and get the result that we did was very pleasing.
And of course at Highfield Road, as everywhere else, the Palace crowd magnificent, Chris.
Yeah, superb. Away support is fantastic. Like you say, at Highfield Road, they were absolutely brilliant all through the game. And once we went 4-1 up, they didn't stop singing, and all credit to them.
And to see John Solarco once again starting to play as we know he can play.
Yeah, well, I think he's been outstanding all season. I think we probably give him a bit of stick amongst the boys because we feel he should defend a bit more at times. But what you can't take away from him is his outstanding natural talent. And that day he set up at least 2 of the goals.
So then, of course, we went into the home game against Ipswich, and Chris Armstrong, once again, having a little difficulty in finding the net in league games, but of course he found the net in that game against Ipswich. But it wasn't altogether Palace for much of that game, was it?
No, well, I thought we played very, very well in the first half. We created a lot of chances, and as had been the story up to that stage of the season, we possibly weren't finishing them off at home. Second half we had a dodgy spell when they could possibly have got back into it, but it was a game that we never felt that we would lose. I thought Ipswich on the day were quite poor, really, and fortunately I remember Chris Coleman breaking forward on a little mazy run from the back which set us up for the second goal, and that gave us a bit of breathing space.
Solarco, quick throw in. Newman. He's found John Salako neatly there. Near post ball, and that will be a corner for Crystal Palace. Good promising positive start. Rain sweeping across this ground as Palace launch another attack. Newman looking to hit another one, he scored! Well, he can't miss at the moment. Ricky Newman, it's another one he catches hold of. I think it might have taken a deflection. They all count. Humphrey with the throw. Bowery. Humphrey again. Real looping, dangerous one. Keeper not dominant. And Priest very nearly turned it in. On his right foot. Perilously close. Humphrey, good run. Looks to chip in the cross. Back up wide again, Bowery. Well, that's a nice ball. Armstrong looping header, just too high. The fine tries, very good in the air, Armstrong. Shaw back to his keeper. Oh, good flick. Salako's on the end of this, on his chest. He's, well, he only had goal in his mind there. He might still have. Far post ball, Armstrong, he got power behind the header, but just couldn't get the direction. And Forrest makes a good save. Good check by Salako. Again, an excellent delivery, spot on. Either side, a certain goal. Priest, good climb. He's there again, and he's got support from Southgate. Humphrey. Bowery, good overlapping here from Armstrong. Armstrong in towards the near post, and John Salako's claiming a corner. Well, he really fairly drove it in. Side netting. The Uruguayan striker there, Paz, is tackled by Martin. Salako finds Gordon. Oh, that's fine play. Salako's away again. Inside his man, a right foot cross. Armstrong, again, is really causing problems, but can't increase the 1-0 lead. Salako again beating the defender, all ends up. Another pinpoint delivery, it's just past the post. Oh, good running there by Coleman. He's carried this nicely, and he's found Priest. Oh, and there is Armstrong, and he scored. Launching himself at the ball. Priest the provider, Armstrong the scorer. One of these wicked balls in, and it's a terrific finish. Forrest in the back of the net, as is the ball. Paz with a corner for Ipswich. Thompson picks it up just outside the area. Salako with a really astute interception. And here's Armstrong with a chance to run at the defenders. He's gone to the far post. Priest. Salako, number 3. Simplicity itself. Armstrong with another deep cross in there. Priest into the path of Salako. And a rocket header in the corner. Kiwomya. Paz. Good play by Humphrey. Bowery's chasing on the right. Switches play nicely. Gordon's tackled from behind there by Kiwomya, but Salako is in possession again. Not a bad early ball. Oh, and Priest went for goal. Salako really in class form. Another nice flighted up ball, and Priest just not the right connection. It's a fine header back to Nigel Martin. Barely been troubled in the Crystal Palace goal, and there is the final whistle. A convincing win for Palace. Ipswich, they're struggling even further. Final score, Palace 3, Ipswich 0.
Of course, that game against Ipswich at home here at Selhurst Park, that was going to take us from a position in 21st place after we played Newcastle 4 games previously to 10th in the Premiership, and it certainly gave all the supporters quite a lot of faith in the club, I think.
Well, I hope so. I mean, this was our target from the start of the year, to finish in the top 10. I know the manager said that he feels that we should finish in the top 6, but I think anything in that top half of the table would be a creditable finish. You've got to say that teams that have been there and are established, like Ipswich, are hard to beat, and that result gave us quite a bit of confidence.
So for 90 minutes, Villa can forget all the events off the field. There's a real job to be done here in defence of the trophy Ron Atkinson's side won at Wembley last spring when they beat Manchester United in the final of the Coca-Cola Cup. They're playing tonight against a form team with this good recent form by Palace. 5 wins in the last 7 games, only 1 defeat. But here's Dalian Atkinson now for Villa in this change strip of theirs. Green and black with red stripes, and a goal kick for Nigel Martin and Crystal Palace. Saunders just onside, played onside by Humphrey, but a quick reaction there from the Palace goalkeeper. An accidental tumble there. Armstrong and Iogu. A free kick given to Palace. That's a good shot! Oh, a fabulous shot! Can Palace finish it off? Dean Gordon. What a tremendous shot that was. And a really acrobatic piece of goalkeeping by Bosnich. Just managed to turn the ball onto the post. And Palace just couldn't get anybody up quickly enough for the simple tap-in. A great piece of keeping. And Villa get it away. The corner comes in, and Bosnich is a simpler one this time. Well, Dean Gordon, 2 stunning goals already this season, and very nearly a third with a fantastic shot. Dean Gordon, the 21-year-old local boy, born in Croydon, just down the road. For a moment to be going not quite the right way for it, but his stretch just got him out of trouble, just enough to turn it onto the post. Armstrong turning nicely away from McGrath this time. A long-range shot. What he would have given for that early goal. Dean Gordon almost looked to have given it to them. Priest, delicate little touch on. Yogu's there for Villa, plays it for Barrett. Earl Barrett again. Dwight York. Missed the last couple of games.
Here comes Dean Gordon. Now can Armstrong get on the end of this?
It was a good header, hitting it back from where it's come, and it's always difficult for keepers. But Gordon did well again. A third high cross in. Armstrong knocking it back across the Villa goal, but just wide of the far post. Good spring, but no problems in the end for Villa.
Dalian Atkinson getting up a real head of steam here. Lays it for David Farrell. Crossed in by him to Saunders. Crossed it in superbly. And somehow Palace kept it out.
Played in nicely there. And Saunders, in fact, whipped that in from an impossible angle against the post. Priest touching it back. Barry touching it wide. Armstrong playing it in towards
Was it deep out? Oh my goodness. Bosnich very nearly misjudged that one.
You'd have to ask Chris Armstrong whether he meant that as a shot or whether that was a cross that was suddenly became a shot. But it certainly caused Bosnich problems and very nearly crept in. Here's the corner. Armstrong trying to get to it. Again, easier this time for Bosnich. Now, was that a cross or was it a shot? It very nearly finished in the back of the net, that's for sure. Again, good acrobatics, though, by the Australian-born Villa goalkeeper. Priest just keeping it in play. Humphrey playing it forward towards Gareth Southgate.
Oh, a bad kick out by Bosnich. Can Armstrong, well, he's brought down by Yogyu. What will he get for this? Whether he was the last defender or not. It's a red card. He's been sent off. Well, it was a bit of a mistake in the first place that suddenly put Armstrong in possession. Yogyu then. Now, the feeling could be that there was a Villa player who was in the picture there, who probably was covering, and I think Villa fans might well have a feeling there's some justification that sending off is a very harsh one.
And curl just wide.
So, Ugo Yogyu is off.
And Villa have a real battle now. With a bad clearance there by Mark Bosnich. And suddenly Palace were in possession and trouble was brewing for Ugo Yogyu. Saunders knocking it down for Houghton. York playing it in again. Atkinson! A wonderful goal!
What a strike by Dalian Atkinson. And the Villa fans, worried that their side were down to 10 men, certainly have plenty to cheer now. Taken superbly. And absolutely giving Nigel Martin not a glimmer of a chance. Played in by Dwight York. Smacked on the half volley by Dalian Atkinson. 1-0 Villa. Brian Little's side, down to 10 men. Can they hang on to the lead? And Alan Smith's side will certainly want to overcome the embarrassment of falling to 10 men. To York. Shove that time by Coleman on Saunders, but the linesman's flagging also on the far side. They want to make a substitution. It looks as though there's further trouble. Dalian Atkinson is struggling and will go off. And Fenton will come on. Here come Villa again. Saunders. Played it in for Houghton. This is Farrell. And he's got a cross in, chested down that time by Coleman. Solarco for Coleman, knocked forward to Priest, taken on his chest, trying to get Solarco in again. Fenton's gone with him. Newman. Southgate. Finding Humphrey. Curling it towards Chris Armstrong. Tipped away by Bosnich, but the flag had gone up. The referee had spotted an infringement. No, the flag hadn't gone up. In fact, it was a refereeing decision there, but a terrific leap here by Armstrong. And again, good agility from the Villa goalkeeper. Parker. Barry nicking it away from Houghton. Newman trying to get Solarco on that far side. He's got there. It wants a good cross. It's swung towards Armstrong. A fraction too high for him. It's a Palace throw. Looking to keep the pressure in the last couple of minutes of the first half on 10 men Aston Villa. It's McGrath who got that away. And it won't go for the corner. It's a throw. Last minute of the first half now. Dean Gordon coming forward for Crystal Palace, finds Solarco down that flank, instantly two men around him. Gordon plays it in again. Will it come this time? No, Armstrong couldn't quite get on the end of it. King and Bosnich between them get it away. Gordon played that in nice and early, it just flicked off Priest. Priest again. Oh, he tried to knock it wide for Coleman. A lot of Palace pressure here. Barry knocking it wide again. Solarco onto the left foot this time. Floating a long one towards Armstrong. Villa again get it away. Gordon plays it in again. And this time Bosnich is there. Good end to the first half, which has been full of good, entertaining football. Humphrey. Delayed it too long, and Farrell got back quickly on him. But a Palace throw. With nearly 2 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half. Southgate. Dean Gordon. The half-time whistle. Villa down to 10 men. But going in at the interval, leading with a goal from Dalian Atkinson, and what a good one it was. Face a second half then that is full of possibilities. Can Villa hold on with 10 men? Can Palace come back and get back into this Coca-Cola Cup tie? 1-0 to Villa is the half-time situation. So Villa get the second half underway. Get the feeling when this competition comes round, Villa just sniff the air. They've got such a good record. They're holders. They were the first winners in 1961, and they've won it 3 times since then. There's Armstrong. Solarco's made a good break, and Solarco! My goodness! He was just a whisker away from getting a really dramatic equaliser for Palace right at the start of the second half. He looks up. There's his cross. There's the sliding Solarco, missing it by a whisker. King gets it clear. Up towards Chris Armstrong, but it's a throw to Crystal Palace. They're certainly looking to pile the pressure onto 10-man Aston Villa in the second half. King bringing down Armstrong. More of an untidy tumble than anything else, but worthy of a free kick. Salako and Newman over it. The odds are on Salako. Crossing it in, and a goal there for Chris Armstrong. Free kick by Salako. And Armstrong with a glancing header, and the delight of Chris Coleman there in the goal as Palace bring it back to 1-1. There's the free kick. There's the number 9's glancing header, inch perfect. What a good shot. Armstrong getting it on. Salako, the flag has stayed down. Still with Salako. Oh, a terrible miss by Armstrong. He looks around. Salako can't believe it. Salako thought about a shot himself and then saw Armstrong beautifully placed on the other side of the 6-yard area. He looks up there, picks out Armstrong, and that's what happens. What a crazy game it is. A wonderful header from Armstrong a moment ago, and a simple tap-in for number 2, and he misses that one. Alan Smith wanting more effort. He must be pleased, though, with the way Palace have come out in this second half. Not sure, actually, he was saying more effort. He might well have been saying to Chris Armstrong, get your head up. Here's Armstrong, looking to see if he can play anybody in, and his shot was just wide of the target, and it was a good shot on the turn. Struck with some venom. A little glance towards the bench there, but I'm sure Alan Smith is saying, come on, Chris. McGrath. There's Newman. Priest touching it back. Barry touching it forward. Armstrong on the run again. Salako up with him. Oh, he's done well. He's got away from Barrett. The cross comes in! It's Southgate! And it's 2-1 to Palace. Looks on with pleasure, I would think. Chris Armstrong kept his head up. He's had his problems with that miss earlier on in this half, but he outwitted Earl Barrett here. And Southgate made a wonderful late run to arrive there to make it 2-1 Palace. Alan Smith in his programme note saying that this next few days could really be crucial for Palace's season, and they honestly feel, Palace, that if they win here tonight and get in the quarter-finals, they might take some stopping in this tournament. And of course every day is critical at the moment for Brian Little and his team, struggling near the foot of the table, and Villa in fact wanting to make a substitution. It'll be Guy Whittingham coming on, and David Farrell, I think, yes, David Farrell going off. So at least there's some genuine support now for Saunders up front. Oh, there's a famous face there who would have had the commentary box years before I did. Ken Wolstenholme, good to see him here enjoying a game of football. Foul by Coleman. Well, these are situations that have to be watched very closely by Palace, and they've got everybody except Chris Armstrong back. Oh, my goodness, the shot by Phil King. that somehow was squeezed wide by Nigel Martin. That came through a crowd of players. He could only have seen that at the last split second. Nodded back by the Palace defence, and a great piece of goalkeeping there by Nigel Martin. Parker with the corner. Fenton playing it for King. Dinked in again by him, too high. Oh, that might have gone anywhere. Good ball actually played there by Parker, but in the end it profited Villa not a bit. Houghton playing it in. This should be Martin's ball, and he's lost it, and it's hooked away by Southgate. But it's gone to Barry. Sending Armstrong down that right flank again. Barry feeds some lovely balls in there. That wasn't quite as good this time by Armstrong. It's proof that Villa are by no means finished in this game yet. But here's Humphrey. Here's a good break from the back by Barry. He's got it in, but McGrath will see it across the face of the goal, and Dwight York will see it to safety. You get the feeling there still have to be goals in this game. It's 2-1 to Palace. Gordon hitting it long. Armstrong on the far side. It's another corner. It's a Super Cup tie, with good football coming from both sides. Palace leading 2-1. Armstrong winning another corner for the home side. Salako once again will take it. Priest and Barry in there. Armstrong waiting to launch himself, so too is Coleman. It's Coleman tried to get the header on that one. Southgate has made it free. And that's a goal that might well put Crystal Palace into the quarter-finals. They're making a habit of this, and they now lead 3-1. 3 or 4 Villa players going for it, but nobody guarding that post. And Southgate turning it in without great power, but with great accuracy. And Palace go 3-1 up. Gareth Southgate's getting his second of the night. It's getting very, very animated. And his side are leading 3-1. Alan Smith of Crystal Palace. Well, there's plenty of food for thought on that bench. Gordon. That's a lovely little flick by him. Finds Armstrong. Salako's up. Priest is up on the far side. Barry has had an excellent job. Done an excellent job through that midfield area. Humphrey. I think it's been an excellent performance all round by Crystal Palace. And Southgate was going in and had a hat-trick on his mind. But then Humphrey caught badly on the ball there by Whittingham. It's with Saunders. The cross is in, and Martin just saves it as Whittingham came in behind him. And all beginning with a ball given away by John Humphrey in the Villa half. Here's Salako. They're looking for another one. He's lining up the shot, and it's saved by Bosnich. There's Salako's shot with a lot of power, but held competently there by Bosnich. Houghton. Good header clear that time by Gordon. There's plenty of room for Salako to work down this flank now. And have a little run at York maybe. Going on the inside and going on the outside, but York twisted and turned and held his ground well. And then finds Fenton. Whittingham for Fenton. Here's Parker. Oh, that could be trouble. And in the end, Saunders couldn't get possession, but it's a dangerous ball played out by Nigel Martin then. And with a couple of minutes to go in a cup tie like this, I would have thought the safest thing was to do just what he's going to do now. Armstrong. Oh, super goal! 4-1. Sheer strength and persistence there. And a whiplash finish at the end of it all as Villa floundered. 4-1 Palace, and there's no holding them now. York was beaten, and so was Bosnich. The ball finds the net again, and Palace are home and dry. Two for Armstrong, two for Southgate. That's the story of the night. 4-1 to Crystal Palace on their way to the quarter-finals now of the Coca-Cola Cup. Here's Shaw finding Gordon. Salako. Armstrong again waiting at the far post. He gets up so well. Final whistle. The best night of the season for Crystal Palace. No question of that. 4-1 winners here. A match really with two turning points. The sending off of Diocchio, which really put Villa back on their heels, though they went ahead through Atkinson. And then Armstrong struck right at the start of the second half, and that was the second turning point. The Palace blitz in the first 15 minutes when they turned the game around and scored twice, and then carried on with an excellent second half performance to score two after that. Armstrong 2 and Southgate 2, the scorers for Crystal Palace. Daly and Atkinson, the lone scorer for Aston Villa in the first half. Crystal Palace 4, Aston Villa 1.